Sybil Ludington, the 16-year-old who saved America in a fateful night. Most of us know about Paul Revere and his legendary midnight ride to warn the Minutemen about the British troops. But have you ever heard of Sybil Ludington? She was an American Revolutionary War heroine who made an even longer, more arduous ride to warn of an even greater threat. And she was only 16 years old. Welcome to Stories That Stay, where we uncover the forgotten tales of those who shaped history, yet whose names aren't fully recorded in textbooks. Today, we're going to tell the story of Sybil Ludington, the teenage girl who rode 40 miles through the night to save a town from being burned down. Sybil's story begins in 1777, when the American Revolution was at its peak. Sybil Ludington was no ordinary girl. She was the eldest of Colonel Henry Ludington's 12 children, a patriotic militia officer and friend of George Washington. The Ludington family lived in Fredericksburg, now Kent, New York, a remote but strategically important area. Sybil's father was not just a father, but also a community leader, an organizer of the local militia. Their home was often a gathering place for officers and a hub for militia activities. Sybil grew up in an atmosphere of war, where patriotism and sacrifice were vital values. She was accustomed to hearing discussions about strategy, about threats from the British Army and the Loyalists. She fully understood the dangerous situation her country faced. On the night of Saturday, April 26, 1777, terrifying news reached the Ludington home. British troops had attacked and set fire to Danbury, Connecticut, an important city just about 25 miles away. It housed a large military supply depot containing crucial food, ammunition, and medical supplies for the American Army. After destroying Danbury, the British were on their way to attack Fredericksburg, where Colonel Ludington's militia encampment was located. The militiamen were scattered throughout the region. No one was capable of riding across the entire area in the dark of night to gather them. Colonel Ludington had only one option. Someone had to ride to warn and rally the soldiers. It was an incredibly dangerous mission. The roads were rutted and slippery in the dark, and even more perilous was the presence of British troops and Loyalist gangs, known as Skinners, ready to ambush anyone on the road. Without hesitation, 16-year-old Sybil Ludington volunteered. While her father organized the soldiers present, Sybil tied a secure shawl around her head, donned thick clothing, and mounted her horse, a sturdy animal named Star. She carried only a stick to ward off attackers and to knock on the doors of the militiamen's homes. In the pitch-black night, under heavy rain, Sybil galloped through muddy roads and dense forests. She rode through the towns of Carmel, Mahopac, Stormville, Patterson, and many others. Each time she reached a militiaman's house, she pounded on the door, calling out "Muster at Ludington's," and waited until she was sure the message was heard. She rode for 40 miles, about 64 kilometers, twice the distance of Paul Revere's ride, through much more difficult terrain. She faced the fear of enemy soldiers, robbers, and the inherent danger of the rough roads themselves. At one point, she was stopped by a highwayman, but used her stick to defend herself and escape. When Sybil returned home at dawn, 40 miles behind her, the militiamen had assembled. Although they couldn't save Danbury, thanks to Sybil's timely warning, the American forces were able to intercept the British near Ridgefield, Connecticut, preventing the attack on Fredericksburg and protecting other vital supplies. Sybil Ludington was praised by George Washington and other officers for her extraordinary courage. However, her story, unlike Paul Revere's, was not included in history textbooks for centuries. This 16-year-old girl, who risked her life to save her town and its soldiers, became a forgotten figure. It wasn't until the 20th century that Sybil's story began to gain recognition, with memorials and statues erected in her honor. Her most famous statue, sculpted by Anna Hyatt Huntington, depicts Sybil bravely on horseback, located in Carmel, New York. Sybil Ludington's story is a powerful reminder that history isn't just written by famous people. So many quiet heroes, ordinary individuals who performed extraordinary acts, contributed to and shaped the world we live in today. Sybil Ludington was not a soldier, but she was a warrior. Her actions saved lives and protected crucial assets for the fight for independence. Do you know of any other forgotten figures in history that you think deserve to have their stories told? Share their tales in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Stories That Stay so you don't miss other meaningful stories, and share this video if you want Sybil Ludington's story to reach more people. Thank you for listening. See you in the next stories.